Welcome, keep it 100 Oklahoma High School. Sunday, little chilly 54 degrees Sunday afternoon. Getting close to springtime, folks. Next week is supposed to get up in the 70s. I think next Wednesday they're talking about 74. A good day for you to get on that golf course, Big E.
Yeah, if only I didn't have so much schoolwork, I could do it. But
well, you know what, E? Sometimes you got to take some time for yourself and go have a little bit of fun. Well, folks, we're glad you guys could join us and listen to us on this Sunday afternoon as we're going to talk a little bit of high school basketball as we get ready for area, and then talk a little bit of high school wrestling as they get ready to start for the state championship. Like I said, last weekend they had dual state, finish it up. We'll congrats on the teams that done that. We're going to have a special guest today, one of the top coaches in 5A boys basketball, Coach Shawn, Shenk from the Crossing boys basketball team, having a good year. They won the state championship back in 2021. I know he's looking to win another one in 5A. I think they won that one, in 3A? I think it was when they won that one. Yeah, 3A, they won that over Biggs back in the day. Like I said, that was class of 2021. They beat Biggs 51-49. That was a hell of a game. But like I said, we'll talk to him in a little bit. We're going to talk about some things that's going on. Talk a little bit like some of the high school games that's coming up. We're going to try to run through all the brackets real quick as we can. But like I said, I'd like to ask Big E real quick before you go on. What's going on, Big E?
Oh, school and work. I'm in the thick of it right now. So
thick of it.
Yeah.
Big E, I know you're a big OU fan.
Yeah.
Keep up the Sooner sports. Not just football, basketball, tennis, golf, and wrestling.
Yeah.
As OU will kick off today a great wrestling match against Oklahoma State. Bedlam probably might be their last Bedlam. Because OU's moving on. I think OU's going to stay. Wrestling might stay in the Big 12.
I think so. Well, like from what I heard, really the only sport where Bedlam's going away is football. All the other sports, they'll still have non-conference
basketball. Because
I heard
the men's going to be in the SEC in basketball. So next year
you got non-conference games that you can play.
Yeah. But I tell you what's going to be really cool. I got a chance to go watch the OU's women the other night. They played against Baylor. Good to see.
That was a good game.
Really good game. Baylor got a young lady from class and that plays on her team. I think she's just a sophomore. Then OU got a couple girls on their team, some Oklahoma natives. But it's good to see some of these girls that's played right here in high school in the state of Oklahoma. Now they're going to play in college ball. But Oklahoma got a pretty good little team. They're going to be nice. They got a freshman, Williams, number 32. Not only can she play inside, but she can also play outside and shoot the ball, too. Little point guard they got. She's tiny. I had Zoe take a picture with her, and Zoe's the same size as her, so that's a good thing for Zoe.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But young lady could go, though. But OU be moving on to the SEC, so next year they get to bring South Carolina in here, LSU. So those will be some games that I know people will be loving to see play here at Norman. OU's women's softball doing big things. They're still winning.
Undefeated
close.
So far.
They're gonna get beat, folks. Don't hold your breath. They're gonna lose a game or two.
This team may be better than the one.
I don't
from
know,
last
Biggie.
year.
I don't know if they got the pitching like they had.
No, they got the pitching. They got the pitching. They got that girl from Oklahoma State to transfer. I think she won some pitching awards last year. I can't remember, but they have her. She's been doing a great job. You still got Nicole May, Kirsten Deal. You still got girls that can pitch on that roster.
That's OU 101 right there.
I'm saying, the Sooners girls. I think there's a little bit less hitters on the team.
Okay.
There's not as many. You still have.
It's still young though. It's still early.
Yeah. And then Alyssa Brito, she's one of those girls that can go yard anytime she steps up to the plate. Tiare Jennings, Riley Boone. And then Jada Coleman. Those girls. I don't know. You had all those girls come back, and I think it would be a shocker if OU didn't win a three-peat. So
that's crazy. But Big E, as we talk about the Sooners, let's talk about Stoops not getting an invite to the NFL Combine.
Yeah, that's crazy. One of the best receivers in the Big 12 last year, and really been consistently one of the best receivers in the Big 12 for the past few years. I think he had almost 1,000 yards last season, had 10 or 12 touchdowns, 60-something catches. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was around that realm, and, doesn't get a combine invite. But another cool thing that the Big 12 does, I think the only conference to do this. Is they have their own pro day. So the Big 12 is going to have their own pro day. He might be there. I'm not sure. But obviously, you're going to have OU's going to have their own pro day. And, I think there's a lot of scouts that like him, kind of a slot guy.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, picks him to go to the Patriots because, the Patriots are known for having short, white slot receivers.
So is the Dolphins, too.
Yeah, the Dolphins. But, with Belichick out of there, I'm not sure if the Patriots are going to be the team. I think he will get picked up probably in one of the later rounds. And if not, then, he'll sign somewhere. I really think that he could have a pretty good career in the NFL. He's kind of one of those guys that he's going to go in and he's going to work and he's humble, hardworking guy, team guy. I mean, he's one of those guys that you want to have in the locker room. And, with his dad being Bob Stoops, he has connects all around the league.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
He's going to find a team somewhere, and I think he'll have some pretty good success.
And a big shout out to Rabbit that is getting the invite. So,
yeah.
Like you talked about a couple weeks ago, he did real good in the Shrine?
The East-West Shrine Bowl.
Yeah.
Boosted his draft stock a lot. Probably going to continue to boost his draft stock as he goes into the Combine. And then he'll have his pro day and the Big 12 pro day. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for Rabbit to move up in the draft. I think they have him around like the third or fourth round right now. So I think that would be pretty good.
Enough money to take care of his mom and his baby girl.
My Packers need another safety, man.
Yes,
so
sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know how much you like the cold weather, Rabbit, but I'd love you to play in Green Bay.
Money talks, nice. BS walks. So you'll learn to like the cold weather. But real quick, before we keep moving on, man, let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. Do you look as Kansas City as a dynasty team? Patrick Mahomes does his magic.
It's rigged. It's rigged. That's what it is. It's rigged. No, I'm kidding. But it is a dynasty. I think you're starting to see what we saw with the Patriots back probably a little less than a decade ago.
Yes, sir.
Just Patrick Mahomes, he keeps on finding ways to win. I mean, really, this is the worst roster that they've had, at least offensively. The receiving core and the whole offense kind of seemed out of whack for most of the season. They had a few games where they were clicking on all cylinders, but it wasn't really consistent. And then they get into the playoffs, and then they figure it out. I mean, that's just how the Chiefs have been for the past few years. And, It was a pretty good game. I like the halftime show. The halftime show with Usher and Alicia Keys and who else? Her. She was there. I don't think she was actually playing that guitar. I think there was a track over it. She was just looking like she was playing guitar. But I mean, it was good. And then
what I hate, Biggie?
Lil Jon. Like it was a good halftime show.
You know what I hate, Biggie?
What's that?
Usher kind of hugs Alicia Keys. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
And people started making, oh my God, he should be banned from the Super Bowl, folks. Yeah. Man, get a life.
It's all for show.
That's all it is. Usher's married. She got a man.
Usher just got married like the week prior. Alicia's been married to.
This is the thing is, man, if they have something going along, it's been going along because guess what? They've been singing and making music together. Folks, calm down. I think
Alicia's husband, I mean, she came out there and said, like, there's like, y'all are getting mad over nothing. Like, my baby looked beautiful out there. Like, she did her
100.
thing.
Hey, 100. She looked good. Usher did a good job. Had me get out my skates and skate in the front room, but I still got it. I'm sore the last few days, but no, great Super Bowl. I thought the game, might have been kind of slow, but I think it was a great Super Bowl game. Yeah. I think everybody's kind of getting on San Francisco 49ers coach and not knowing the overtime rule.
Not knowing the rules,
come on, man. People
the Chiefs got away with a lot of holds, like a lot of there's gonna
this
be
guy's coming from a Packers fan because
I'm just saying, no. I'm just saying, like. You look at you go back and you watch that game, and the Chiefs committed the 5th most holding penalties throughout the regular season.
And they have no calls.
No, they did not get one holding call called against them in the Super Bowl. How does that happen? And then when you have Nick Bosa and Chase Young coming off the edge, there's going to be holding. I mean, I get it. Like, sometimes it's happening too fast, and you can't. And, holding happens. I mean, you can call holding almost every play. Yes, but sir. There was like it was obvious. Like Nick Bosa could not. I mean, like it was so obvious. I don't know. I mean, and with that said, 49ers got away with some too. But
like I said, overall, I think it was a great.
It was a great game. It really was.
Game.
Had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, like I said, you watch the whole game, man. You know, it's one of those games that, like, halftime. You watch the halftime show, the game's already over, and you go to bed. But it made you stay. I mean, you got a little bit extra too, and almost got another.
Yeah, overtime.
Almost got another quarter if the 40
if they would have
San Francisco, not San Francisco, but Kansas City don't go and score. But
if old boy didn't miss his block, I mean, he had Ayuk wide open in the end zone. So.
It happens, Big E. But you know what, man? You know, you got to give it up to the young man. He got to a Super Bowl as a second-year quarterback. You know, last year he gets hurt. He's probably going to get that big contract that he deserves.
Oh, yeah.
Hope he don't get the money, then he goes to shits. But, hey, that's what happens at times. But, like I said, great Super Bowl, great halftime show. Couldn't ask for anything better. We're going to keep this show moving. We're going to talk a bit about a little dual state. Winning 6A dual state was the Edmond North over Bigsby. Beat them, I think it was 52-9, I think. I think Edmond North is going to be the favorite to win 6A state high school individual state championship. So I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen all of Edmond North guys win state. I know Stillwater and Bigsby have a couple guys that's going to compete for it. Then you look at 5A, you had Elgin over Coweta, 38-28, which, you know, last year Elgin, I think they won dual state, but Carl Albert ended up winning its first state championship with Coach Hodges. So, like I said, it can be wide open when it comes to state. Sometimes, you know, a duel is not the same as the individual state, you know, goes. But then going into 4A, you had Tuttle. I think it was their 15th in a row over Jay, 44-14. Then you had Marlow over Blackwell, 42-28. So congratulations to all those teams winning a dual state championship. Dual state is fun because it's a team deal. You know, winning state as a team is good, but that comes off, you know, what comes in the pact of you know, what your team does and how many guys you can get. Gonna give a real quick shout out to the UCO Broncos doing their thing again. Gabe and his crew, man, you know, they go 15-0 and duel. Had a tough duel Friday night against Kearney. Got down 10-0. 149-pounder comes up with a win. I think they're, like I said, they're down 10-0. He gets the win and makes it 10-3. Gay comes back with like the last 10 seconds and get a good technical fall to make it 21-3. That gives them, you know, 5 points. So now they're down 8-10. Then after that, it just took off, and you know, and they got some dudes, you know, a 41-pounder, you know, he gets beat, but you know, he's ranked in the top 5. So we had some guys had some tough matches, but overall, when you win, kind of like the Chiefs, when you win, you find a way to win, and that's what exactly what you know, Coach Stiley and his team did. You know, looking to try to win another national championship. You know, back in your mind, you want to say yes, they can do it, but it's going to be tough because guys got to come through, man. You know, when you look at some of these guys and these not tournaments, just in some of these duels, you got guys losing or guys winning barely. You know, it all falls in luck on, you know, how your team does. You know, last year had 10 guys qualify for nationals. You know, this year, you know, I don't know if they'll get 10. I mean, they can get up to, I think they can at least get up to 8, hopefully 9. Hopefully they get all 10. But some of these guys are going to have to step up their game and wrestle better than what they have. So good luck to UCO Broncos, Gabe and Coach Stiley and the rest of the team for doing what they're doing. Like I said, going, you know, winning back-to-back, you know, their conference championship and, you know, going 15-0. So great job to those guys. But now you got to go take care of business in regionals and nationals here in the next few weeks. So we'll be talking more about them here in the weeks to come. And then, like I said, you got high school basketball kicking off. I think we got probably about we're supposed to call Coach Shawn about 1:30, but you want to try to go through 6A real quick?
Yeah.
Boys and girls real quick?
Yeah, so 6A side and regionals, this is boys. You got Owasso hosting. You have Choctaw hosting, Broken Arrow, and Union. So on the Owasso regional tournament, you got Owasso taking on Ponca City in the first round, and then you have Jinx and Enid on the other side of that. And then at the Broken Arrow regional, you got Edmond Memorial taking on Stillwater and Broken Arrow taking on Bartlesville. At the Choctaw regional, you got Choctaw versus U.S. Grant and Sand Springs going against Southmore. And then at the Union regional, you got Bixby taking on Putnam City and Muskogee taking on Union. That's 6A boys. That's 6A Boys East. On the west side, you got, let's see, you got Edmond North hosting, Lawton hosting, Norman hosting, and Deer Creek hosting. So Edmond North Regional, you got Edmond North taking on Lawton Eisenhower. And then you have PC West and Mustang.
I don't think PC West is the team they used. Coach Laney Burt's not there. I've seen him drop a couple games since he's been gone, and he dropped some games when he was there. But
did they let him go mid-season?
Let him go.
Man, I
I
remember we were talking about it,
yeah.
but
But
that's crazy.
I think Mustang could do some damage in that. And then, you look at Edmond North would be one of the finals. Don't know how far Choctaw go. I haven't got to see the team play. I know the girls went undefeated. But, I think when you start crossing, because they did it by district, and you could have a watered-down district and not really play anybody good. Yeah,
right.
Go play a couple tournaments. But you're about to find out who's the real deal and who's really just not the real deal. And it's just, it's all smoke show. So good luck to all the teams that's going. But like I said, I think Edmond North I would pick them to be the favorite then. And then I think, is it Owasso? Is that who played in the Tournament of Champion? I think it was Edmond North and Owasso.
That might have been
And Owasso got a good young man, 6'7", 6'8", shooting guard, guy can flat out shoot the ball. But like I said, you got to watch out for some of these other teams. You never know who gets hot at the right time.
Right.
And do the right things. I think Moore Lions right now is one of the hottest teams out there right now. And you got to watch out for Mustang and Poe guy that can flat out shoot the ball, and his counterpart and the other guard. So there's some teams out there that I think Edmond North is the one that everybody's picking, but they've been beat. And Moore right now, I'm telling you, Moore right now is playing big time basketball, and that's when you got to start playing good ball in February and lead yourself into March. So I'll let he finish up before we bring on Coach.
Yeah, and then at the Lawton Regional, you got Moore taking on Northwest Classen, and then you got Lawton taking on PC North. At the Norman Regional, you got Norman playing Capitol Hill and Piedmont playing Westmore. And then at the Deer Creek Regional, you got Edmond Santa Fe and Norman North, and then you got Yukon and Deer Creek. So moving over to 6A girls on the east. That was boys. So that was boys east and west. Now I'm moving on to girls east. So you got Edmond Memorial hosting, Broken Arrow hosting, Choctaw hosting, and Owasso hosting. So you got in the Edmond Memorial Regional, Edmond Memorial take on Southmore, and then Jinx will take on Putnam City. And then you got at the Broken Arrow Regional, you got Sand Springs taking on Ponca City, and Broken Arrow taking on Enid. Choctaw will take on U.S. Grant as they're hosting, and then Union will take on Stillwater. And then you got Bixby going up against Bartlesville at the Owasso Regional, and then Muskogee will take on Owasso. And then on the west side of the girls, you got Edmond North hosting, Yukon hosting, Putnam City West hosting, and Putnam City North hosting. So at the Edmond North Regional, Edmond North take on Northwest Classen, and Edmond Santa Fe will take on Moore. At the Yukon Regional, you got Mustang taking on Eisenhower, and Yukon taking on Deer Creek. At the PC West Regional, you got PC West taking on Capitol Hill, and Piedmont will go against Westmore. And then at the at the PC North Regional, you got Norman taking on Norman North, and then you got Lawton taking on PC North. So, a lot of these good teams. I think it's funny how like a lot of these teams. I mean, the boys and the girls both made it, and they're both hosting. So like you have Choctaw hosting. What was another one that I saw? I think Edmond North. I think both Jinx
and that's
girls
the same thing
are
that
in
you have,
there.
and they changed the format now. If you lost, you was out. But now it's double elimination, so you can lose. A lot of times you saw some teams get upset, but then you can turn around and get beat. Yeah. And then you're out. But now you get beat, you got a chance to come back. And I'm gonna run through these 5As real quick. If you want to get the other side, I got the Tulsa side. You got Booker T hosting. Booker T will play McAllister, and you got Sapopa playing Claremore. Then you got, this is 5A girls. Then you got Bishop Kelly playing, Will Rogers. Then you got Edison Prep playing Grove. I think they're hosting. And then you got Holland Hall playing Pryor. Then you got Tahlequah, which is the team that you got to watch out for. That's really, really salty. These are boys, but these are 5A boys, but they're always going to have a good team. I think Booker team's a top team. Memorial's always there too, but then you got Holland Hall playing Pride, then you got Tahlequah playing Coweta, then you got Memorial playing East Central, then you got Durant playing Collinsville. So those are your teams in the boys 5A on the east side of the state.
And on the west side, you got Carl Albert hosting, Dell City hosting, Midwest City hosting, and Guthrie hosting. So all three Mid-Dale schools are hosting.
Mid-Dale, baby, that's what we do out here at Mid-Dale. We take care of business. Shout out to Andy Collier, man. Great job on that, Andy. Hey, just putting, I know it sucks because somebody's not going to, somebody got to get beaten. You got three teams. All three Mid-Dale teams can win it. Laney Hatcher's coming off a state championship last year in 2023, looking to get another one. They got the Grand Boys over there. But, man, we're going to talk to this is perfect timing. We're going to talk to the Crossing coach, and I think he got some things to say before he crowns anybody in the Mid-Dale. I know his team got beat the other night by Carl Albert, leading by 15. I don't know what happened. Second half they couldn't hit a shot. Carl Albert got hot. What's his name? Quincy kind of took over the game, man. I think he had 16 points the second half, didn't have none the first half. His brother didn't play as much as he has. I think he kind of twisted his ankle, but I just tell you right now, man, Quincy played lights out. They just played really good ball, So, and that's what happens. Crossing got, they got the guards, they got the two bigs, and like I said, we'll let Coach talk about them as soon as we bring them back after what?
After one of our sponsors.
Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Right back.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday, All-Star Sunday, folks. If you got a chance to watch, we got to see a little bit of dunk contest. Got to see Steph Curry versus the young lady. What was her name, Big?
Sabrina Ionesco?
Oh, yeah. She shot the ball good, but Curry said, I got to put on the show. But, folks, we got a special guest today all the way from on the other side of town, coming from Crossing, Coach Shawn Shenk. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on.
Oh, Coach, man, like I said, it's good to have you on, man. The other day I was sitting there and I was like, man, who can I get? And then, Chris Crawford, he knows you really well. And,
my gosh. Great guy.
Yeah, good guy, man. Our daughters play ball together from middle school and AU ball. So he's in Dallas this week and Christopher is playing golf. And I was like, man, who can I get on, man? And I said, I really like the Crossing. I really enjoyed the game when I went to you guys' place. Your student body is probably one of the best around. I even kind of put something on Twitter, man, one of the best student bodies around.
It was awesome.
They do, man. They do a good job.
They're great.
It kind of remind you of Duke a little bit. Duke and Kansas, man, the way they get
They're
into
awesome.
it. Man, some of the stuff they say, man, it's funny, though, man. Put your varsity in. We want varsity. I love it, man. But, Coach, like I said, I'm glad you can come on the show and talk to me and Big E. We don't have Jonah today, but it's me and Big E holding it down.
Awesome.
If you can, man, for the listeners that don't know a little bit about you, I know I did my little homework a little bit, read a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and that sure is nice of Chris. I've known Chris for a long time. Kind of goes back to my history of used to be the head coach at Edmond Santa Fe, and that's where I first met Chris. He did work for BSN and did all of our stuff. And, man, we just built, besides a, work relationship, man, a really good friendship. And so known him for a long time. So that's really nice of him to say. But man, this is my 20 – see, I lose count, man. I'm getting old. You get old when you lose count. But I think it's 26. I've started my career in a small town, northwest Oklahoma in Ringwood, with a couple men who were just fantastic. Our girls program up in Ringwood had won back-to-back state titles. Had a girl named Angie Guffey, in fact, that went on to play at OU. Okay. So really good girls program there, and knew the girls coach. The boys coach was a family friend of mine, and I just graduated from OBU playing for Bob Hoffman in '97, and was looking for a job. Graduated in the middle of the year in December, and thankfully, there was a position open in February. So I got to go work with these guys that were just phenomenal coaches, phenomenal men. And they just really took me under and got to coach with them for a couple of years, and went to Tecumseh, which has been a hotbed for some great coaches. If you look at some some history, man. It's crazy how many coaches have come through Tecumseh, but worked for some great people there, and had a great career there. Was only there for a year, but man, just really loved my time there. Had some great players, and it was fantastic. Patrick Cobb, who played in the NFL, played at North Texas, led the country in rushing, played on our team at that time. Just a great young man. Left there and went to Enid, my hometown. My parents, my mom is from there. My parents met there. My dad was a fighter pilot before he became a pastor. Okay. And they met up there in Enid, and my grandparents lived there their entire life, and so it's kind of fun getting to go back. It's where I was born. Was there for 5 years. Had a great run. Got to again meet some great people, Price guys. Brent Price has become a really good friend, and has helped me in so many ways. And he was still playing at that time, so I got to work out with him every summer. Learned so much basketball from him, and had a great career there. Again, loved my time. Had some great players. Got to coach Tyson Singh, Austin Box, the Chelf brothers who played at OSU. And I mean, just go on. And we made state tournament for the first time, and probably since I think Brent was there in like 80 something. We made it in 2005, 2006 season, and had just a great run. And was fortunate enough to get the job then after that at Edmond Santa Fe. Was there for 6 years. And again, I'm just, God has just really blessed me, get there and have great players again. I mean, I could go through a huge laundry list of great players from that time, from Nick Combs to Ricky Vick and Ross Morissette, some college players. I got to coach Josh Richardson, obviously, for 4 years, and Shaq Morris. And I mean, just Aaron Anderson, who went and played at Fresno State, who's back in the city now coaching. I mean, just, man, God has been so good to me, and so many others that I'm leaving out that were great players. We had great teams there, had a great run. Go over to Jinx for a year and get to coach with my buddy from college, Clay Martin. Thought that he was maybe going to leave a little quicker. Probably both of us thought he was maybe going to get that NFL job a little quicker than he did, and I was just impatient. But went over there for a year, loved it, got to learn from Clay, and then Crossings opened up with the opportunity to be an athletic director. It's a small, it was a small school at the time. I think when I got here 10 years ago, this is my 11th year, so 11 years ago, I think the graduating class was 6 kids. I mean, there was nobody in the high school. We had 50 kids total. There was nobody here. And, we go from my first year here, we were a Class B school. Can you believe that? Just 10 years ago, Class B school, and now we're a 5A school. Well, we're not a 5A school, but we're having to play in 5A again based on the success that we've been fortunate to have.
Yes, that's crazy how they do that, man.
It's been amazing.
It's funny,
man.
Amazing
run.
It's funny. I tease people all the time, and I know Coach Mike Dunn and Goggins over at Carl Albert.
Yep.
They keep winning, but they don't get moved up.
Oh man, well, they could compete at any level.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that.
They could. I'm an ex. I graduated from Midwest City, and my wife went to Midwest City, and my oldest daughter went to Carl Albert, and cheered and ran track, and now my youngest one's there. So it's funny that
what a program, man.
It's funny because half of us that's our kids that go to Carl Albert, we're all bombers. So I always tell people, if we'd have took our kids to Midwest City, man, it'd still be a powerhouse. But things change, and Carl Albert does a really good thing. Coach Miss Goggins over there is amazing. I think she's one of the best principals in the state. Just
totally agree.
And with the football program, with Coach Rose, he lives around the corner from me. I usually see him during the summertime riding his bike, and then then you had Corley there, and now you got Coach Mike Dunn. And so, they just keep the ball rolling. And, Coach Price in basketball.
They do everything with excellence, don't they?
That's it.
It's crazy, everything.
And it's, and you look at, which, I got a chance to watch you guys. Didn't really know much about Crossing. Did the show for a few years. And don't you guys have a football team too?
We do. Yeah. We've had a really good football team.
And that's how we found out about Crossing. We're like, where the hell's Crossing at? Where's it located at? You're like, I'm thinking you guys on the other side of the state. I'm thinking you're in Tulsa.
It's crazy.
And it's right around the corner, And so
sometimes people, the only way they know us is they may be driving on the turnpike we've seriously had this. I've had more people tell me this, that they're driving, going to dinner on a Friday night on the turnpike, and they see stadium lights. And we're all from Oklahoma, so we all know you see the stadium lights, there's a football game going on.
Yeah,
and what football stadium's right there near the mall? Like, who is that? And people kind of find out that, oh my goodness, they're know the church a little bit. Some people have known the Crossings Community Church. It's a large church here, but had no clue that we were there was a school here. And we honestly haven't been hardly a school for very long. It's amazing how God has blessed this place and how it's blown up in just a few years. It's amazing.
That's big time. But Coach, like I said, we'll keep this rock and rolling. But you talk about you guys have been in 5A. So the last few years, you guys are would you guys in 3A and 4A, or how is it? Are y'all still in like just basketball 5A, or is everything 5A?
No. So great question. On our association is based on that sport. So only our boys team and unfortunately our girls team, because they did districts this year in 5A, 6A. They uncoupled B through 4A. Well, when we got bumped to 5A as the boys basketball team, our girls unfortunately had to follow. So it's been tough on them. They're really battling. Kudos to my girls coach. He's phenomenal. He is doing an unbelievable job. And I'm sitting here in the gym, just got back from church, and we've got a couple of young ladies who are in here in the gym shooting right now. I mean, I love that. I think it's a great culture our coach has built. He's doing a phenomenal job and stuff like that. But yeah, so our boys team is the only one in 5A. We're a 3A school. We've got about 315 kids in the high school. So it's been a challenge. Our boys team, thankfully, we've been super, super good. I mean, we've been really blessed. This is in my 10 years, this is my 11th year again. But before this year, we've made the state tournament 6 out of 10 years since I've been here. And, we've been the Final Four the last 2 years in 4A, lost in a close battle 2 years ago to Kingfisher, who ended up winning it. Yes, had a shot to win it and win that game in the semifinals and missed it. Last year, lose to a really good Weatherford team who lose in the finals to Douglas. 2 years before that, we were in 3A and won it in 21, and thought we had a chance to win it in 20, and it was canceled. I think we had a great team that year,
that's
too.
Tough, man. That's a tough year, man. Ethan that does the show with me, he's a class of 2020, and my boys. So that's a whole different. It's so funny how things has changed from now to now. I mean, from 2020 to now. At least we're back and got sports going on. But I tell you, man, it sucks a lot. It sucks for the guys. I remember a lot of the kids are, Choctaw. My boys went to Choctaw.
Oh, yeah.
They were all loading up to go watch the girls and boys play, and then they get the phone call, turn around, and hey, it's been canceled. So sucks for a lot of those kids not to get a chance to win it. I mean, I think Lenny Hatchett would have had a good chance to win it that year too with Dale City. But everything happens for a reason, and I think it's made things 10 times better. Lord got his ways He wants to work. So, but
exactly.
That's it. But, Coach, like I said, I know last few games, I got to watch you guys play the first game against Carl Albert, shot lights out. I think you guys are led by a point guard. I was going to ask you a little bit about him. Is it number 1? Is it Daniel?
Yeah, Cal Furnace. He's he just also walked in the gym. The kid's the hardest worker I've ever seen. He's a phenomenal point guard. The kid is unbelievable. Controls the game, can flat out shoot it, can get to the basket. An elite passer. I think he's the best passer in the state.
Yes, sir.
He's the guy and kind of fuels us. And we're well put together. We've got great bigs. We've got really good shooting guards on the side. We're deep. We'll play 12 guys every night. Every night we'll play 12 guys. And they can all go. And if it wasn't for as good as our starters are, those kids will all be starting and playing on most other teams. So we've got a lot of good pieces. The other night at Carl Albert, we're up 17 with a minute left in the third quarter. After we had beat them pretty handily at our place, I know they were gunning for us, and we took it, and we played awesome, and then we choked the fourth quarter. We didn't show up. I think
the fourth quarter. Everybody took the night off for the fourth quarter, so it happens.
Took it
man.
off, but it's such a great lesson, man. You guys know how high school sports, and we see it in college and professional as well. You can be better than a team for 3 quarters, but you lose one and you lose the game. Yes, and so it's such a great lesson for us. We've I think had a lot of growth even from that point on. We're excited to get started in this playoffs and see if we can learn our lesson and play a little bit better.
Like I said, you talked about it. You said Daniels is now. What grade is he? Is he a junior or is he a?
Cal's a junior. So, Cal's a junior. Cam Parker, another junior, big kid.
Yeah, that's number 14,
6,
right?
Just dominant. Yeah, 14. Just body, can shoot the 3, can post up, dominates the glass. He moves. He really moves well. We can switch him on guards. And then we've got the sophomore kid, 6'8", Phoenix Woodson, who's got
Woodson,
Division I talent all over him, and is he's really starting to put it together this year. He can shoot it. Obviously, he's one of our best shooters from the perimeter. But man, he's got a great post-up game, great mid-range game. He's got great vision. He can guard multiple positions. And so our three best players are all underclassmen. It's awesome. They're great kids. They work their tails off, love their teammates, great leaders. So we're pretty blessed in all those areas.
Well, Coach, you talk about, you like to say you lose against Carl Albert and you go lose another nail biter against, was it Guthrie?
Yep.
Yep. And and you started to look at yourself because, you look at your record overall, you're 16-6 and you got,
Yep.
3 losses. All your losses are to good teams. You lose to Edmond North, a team that's a state champion. You lose to Dell, that probably has one of the best players in the state. Then you lose to Union, another 6A team. Then you lose, your 3 games in 5A with Carl Albert, El Reno, then Guthrie. But, Coach, you talk about those 2 losses back-to-back, and I know you're eager to get back on the court. And like I said, it might have put you on a different side of the bracket. E, do you have the bracket pulled up?
I do.
Put you on the other side, bracket. I think you're going to have, Dell City? Who's on their side, Big E?
On their side, you got Southeast, Dell City, and Altus.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you get to get to Dell City to get to the championship, which Lenny's done a good job. He's a state champion coach, and he had 2 guys that came in late, like Christmas gifts, like they had for football. They had the Graham's young men that was at Westmore that playing over there. But Coach, it seems like as you talk to on this interview, it seems like we lost a couple of games, but I always tell people, losing's not bad. Sometimes losing rekindles and gets the fire going again. Hey, we got to go back to drawing board. Maybe maybe we're looking at the press too much. That hey, we're good, because after I watched you guys, man, the first game, and I told everybody, I said, hey, man, that team's gonna play for a state championship. They're just because you have all the pieces. You got the bigs, you got the guards, and like you said, you got 12 guys. The night I watched you guys over at Crossing, you probably had 10 guys come off the bench, and every one of them hit a 3, and you didn't know. I couldn't tell them apart.
Yep. No, when we all love to go undefeated, and there's a few national teams that have done that. That's so hard.
Yes, sir.
And we're not trying to lose any games. Nobody is. But if we're going to lose, let's learn from it. And I hate to. I'm sure just like every other coach, we say we're not losing, we're learning. But I really believe that some good things were exposed, and that's what playing good people does. I could go through all 6 of our losses and point to little things that we were exposed. And I think in like Carl Albert, our last 2, we haven't lost back to back. I think it's been over 4 years since we've lost back to back games. It's bizarre, and we did it twice this year. And again, no shame to anybody we lost to. Edmond North and Dale back-to-back tournament champions. We've been there 3 straight years, getting to go back and forth, and losing to there's no shame in losing to Carl Albert and Guthrie. I can tell you that those 2 teams will have a chance to be in the state tournament as well. But it's more like, again, it's not the winning is a byproduct of doing the right thing. So we're not necessarily chasing the winning. We're trying to chase being our best, and we just weren't. We weren't. It exposed some things, and that's what great teams do. They expose you. And so I'm thankful we were exposed. We realize that now, we've got to learn those things and learn those lessons, and because you don't have another chance. You lose back to back now, it's over.
Well,
a couple weeks, you lose one, it's over.
Yeah. It's funny because you talk about that because they changed the format on that before. If you lost your first one, you was out, but now you got a chance to come back to a loser's bracket. And to me, I like it. I know sometimes you might not play your best game and get beat. But I think now you get a chance to, redeem yourself and come.
I agree with you.
And I tell you this though, Coach. Even though some teams might not have played really good during the season, but all it takes is that clicking at the right time to get going. And so,
we see it all the time, don't we?
Yes, sir. If you was to look at it, man, in class, 5A boys, you might have 6 teams that could easily go win the 5A state championship, in basketball. And so you got to be prepared for each game to get ready because I think, Midwest City's a good team, but Coach Noel is done with those guys, been his first year over there. Like I said, you talk about Coach Price, talk about yourself. Would you say, Coach, I missed you? I'm sorry.
I said getting coached on young sir helps too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. That is true, though.
He make me look good, too. And that's not to take away anything from Coach Noel and Coach Bradley. Those guys, they were good anyways, but now they're in elite level.
Yeah, you bring another guy like that. Level. Yes, that's crazy. But I think the same thing with Carl Albert, though. I think getting the James kid to come out has helped them a lot. They got a little bit of inside game. You know,
he's a monster.
That's
man.
it, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
OU. I'm telling you.
Kid from Midwest City.
Yes.
I mean, for Dell City. I mean, huge. Like, just really seems to complete their team.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many great teams, and I think Booker T is one of those over on the east side as well. Their team's special.
I haven't got a chance to watch any in them,
Woo.
but everybody talks
if you
about
got
them.
to see them, you would be very impressed. Yeah,
that's gonna be some good stuff. B, you got anything for Coach?
Yeah, you playing in 5A, one of the more loaded classes as far as basketball goes. I mean, really across all sports, 5A is like probably the most competitive class. But you go into Dell City, the team that that won the state championship last year. What's kind of the message to the team? Get them hyped up and give them the confidence that they need going into the playoffs.
Well, great question. Thankfully we've played a really challenging schedule. We played it this summer. Played in the Edmond Memorial Summer League and got to compete against 6A talent. We've been in the Tournament of Champions. We went to the Jinx Union tournament this year. I think our guys know what good competition looks like. I think the hard thing for us has been just how deep 5A is, and just every night, even if you face a team that's maybe one of the bottom ends of your district, you just got athletes and dudes that can play. And that's been a big difference. And again, I've known that as having been in 6A basketball for a large portion of my career, but it's hard to then convey that to your kids and get them to see that on a night in, night basis. So I think that's been some of it. But our kids are confident. They are, they know that they have a chance to be really good and have a team that can compete. Again, can we win it? I think there's like you guys have said, several teams that can. So I don't think it's even losing 2 in a row is a lack of confidence, because I think our guys see through film that, man, a lot of this is on us. And so we've got to fix the things we can fix, control the things we can control. And if we're not good enough to win it, we're not good enough, but at least we gave our best effort. So I don't know if the confidence issue is going to be a huge thing. I think, facing a team like Dell City, we got to play them a couple years ago in the Tournament of Champions. Now, granted, they had Brandon Garrison. Thank God he's playing at OSU right now.
Right.
Yes,
hey, dude's dominating. He had a big game last night. They're a huge win last night. Really happy for them. But and him, what a great kid. I mean, great kid. But it's our kids will be ready. Our kids will be, I think, have the confidence. It's just going to come down to, as it always does, who can defend the best, who's going to dominate the glass. Shooting it covers a multitude of sins, but not something we can control. For us, if we can control the defensive end and how we rebound, how we take care of the ball, I think we have a pretty good chance.
Coach, that's real talk, because like I said, I think you talked about having a 17-point lead going into the to the fourth quarter. With the guys, and like I said, I think Colorado did everything they could. I think Quincy had a great second, fourth quarter, 16 points, and have no points the first half, and he comes back and played lights out. But Coach, I got to tell you though, man, you missed some threes, you missed some free throws, and that's part of the game, and that.
It is.
And so if you knock down your threes and you knock down your free throws, it's you still might walk out with a win against Carl Albert. But Carl Albert know they need that game, and and so it's one of those things that
their kids made plays.
That's it. They made plays when they had to make plays.
What winners do, that's what winners do. I think that's a big part of it. We're facing a lot of teams with some winning tradition, and we're new to this class. We're the little puppy dog, so to speak. We're the little baby.
Hey, Coach, you can say that, but everybody knows who you are, though. I'm telling you right now, they got to play they got to bring out their best game when they play you.
Amen. I think you're right. That's a great compliment. But man, these kids that we're playing have been here. They know what it's like in this grind. And I think the season's prepared us for that, though. And I'm excited to see what that turns into in the postseason. But man, there's some great players, aren't there? Man, there's just some great coaches. Great teams. It's going to be an exciting couple weeks here.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, tell me a little bit about your coaching staff. I know you got a couple guys helping you, and you got one young man that He's a crowd favorite. I think it's Munch, or they call him MVP when he gets in the game. I love it. You know, he might be a senior, but I know when you know, he might not be one of the stars, but he's a team.
Yep.
I mean, everybody loves him. The fans love him. The student body loves him, and the other young men. But
Mash.
That's it.
Mash.
Hey, when he gets in the game, everybody MVP,
awesome.
MVP. I love it, Coach. But that's what it's all about, man. The student body,
is.
people coming out watching great basketball, man. You know, there's some times me and my daughter might go catch a game, and I might not know a kid on the floor, but it's great basketball, and I think that's what you guys are. Like I said, you can talk all you want, but people know who Crossing is, man. Everybody that I run across, they're like, watch out, that team got it all. They got the guard. A good buddy of mine is Andre Johnson, man. His daughter goes to Deer Creek,
Deer Creek.
He's, I guess, your point guard lives in the same neighborhood as him, and man, he was talking about the game, man, and he's like, man, they got everything, and you guys do. You got the whole package, the two inside guys,
we really do,
and the guards, and then all the guys that can shoot the threes. But Coach, tell me a little bit about your staff before we let you go.
Yeah. Well, you know, you mentioned our crowd is pretty cool. I think that is one of the things that we have. You know, from when I was at Santa Fe, just sometimes you're in those large schools, it's hard to connect with all the kids at the school. We're here. Man, every one of my kids knows everybody at this school, and they all want to come out and cheer them on. So that is a fun little advantage that we have. Our student section has been amazing, but my staff is phenomenal. Brandon Parker, which is Cam Parker's dad, came to me 5 or 6 years ago. Man, I'll never forget. Just walked into a camp one day. He was like, "Man, I heard you got a coaching spot," and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy shows up. Like, we just hit it off immediately. Hit it off with my wife. My wife was like running the front. She runs down. She's like, Shawn, you gotta hire this guy right now. He's the best. And so I'm like, okay, I trust you. I trust my wife a whole lot.
You gotta trust the woman, the MVP. Man. You gotta trust her. Yes.
And Coach Parker is he's an amazing man. He's a godly man, just loves our kids, loves the game. Teaches over at Hefner Middle School and coaches a little bit over there too, but comes over here and has been with our team for several years. And of course, you know, his son is just like his dad. I mean, Cam is just one of the best young men I've ever been around. So Coach Parker's phenomenal. He just knows exactly what to say. He's great at matchups, great at the defensive end. Obviously works with our post guys and does a great job with them. And then we've been blessed to have John Clark come to our program. John's been a Division I assistant coach at Alabama, at Arkansas on the women's side. Man, this dude knows the game. He comes from a coaching family. His dad's been a head coach, college head coach here in Oklahoma and several other places. Just passed away within the past year, unfortunately. But, man, John he's a savant. I mean, the guy is just a genius of a basketball coach, obviously a ton of experience and brings a wealth of knowledge. And he's just so good with kids, man. His demeanor, knows exactly what to say. I always say, like, he can tell our guys, like, you're just playing terrible. You're awful. Like, you got to hook it up. But he says it in such a way, guys come over, man, I love you, coach.
Yeah,
like, you know how he can speak truth. You know, Bible says, speak the truth in love. I've never met anybody that's better at that than him. He's like, he is being so truthful, but he just does it in such a great way. I'm blessed with a phenomenal staff. And, you know, my middle school coach the same way. All these kids pretty much grew up here. We don't get a lot of move-ins. And all these kids have been in our program since grade school. And so shout out to my middle school coaches too for the great job they've done, kind of getting these guys ready.
And that's what it all takes. It takes the village, everybody to work together.
It does.
To have them ready for it by the time they get to high school. They're develop. Real quick, Coach, before I let you go though, man, it seems like you really love the game. You've been at Santa Fe. You've been in different schools.
Love it.
It seems like you have a beautiful family. I was looking at your family too, man. Is any of your kids playing basketball?
Yeah. So I got a freshman son that plays. It's my first year having a kid play on my team, and it's been a joy. He's a freshman, great kid, works hard, great teammate, great leader, just a really great kid. And I don't know if he'll ever step on the floor, but man, he's working his tail off, and I don't really care about that part as long as he's the right kind of kid, and he definitely is that. So he's an awesome one. He's been such a blessing to be able to coach him and have him in the gym this year. Got a little 7th grader that loves the game and is really good, and a little point guard. So we'll see if we can maybe keep this good point guard tree going with him coming up too.
That's big time, Coach. But Coach, like I said, I really appreciate it. Big E, you have anything else we let him go?
No, thank you for coming on, and best of luck in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. like, thank you for what you do for high school sports. Wait, we need more of this, and I'm thankful for people like you that are doing this. I just think it's so neat for kids and for coaches. Man, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. A lot of people love listening to you. We talk about it all the time. So keep doing it, man. I love
thank
it.
You.
Love
we
what
really
you guys
appreciate that. We really appreciate that, man. You know, we started this about 4 years ago, man. We do it
Yep.
out.
Yep.
All my kids are grown. I got one that wrestles at UCO, man, and you know, so all I got here is my youngest daughter. So I took our little game room and made it to a podcast.
Oh,
that's awesome. You know, works.
Is that where you are? So I've seen the picture of the place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that where it is
That's
now?
it. That's it, man.
Awesome.
My wife helped me set it up. E's dad had a nice place, and we
That
both
is
live
cool.
in Choctaw. We're like, man, we're driving all the way to Moore to shoot a show. It's funny, man. If you just saw when we first started at to where we're at now, we look
That's
big time,
awesome.
man. But like I said, we love it, man. You know, doing
But
football.
you guys love sports too, and you love kids.
Hey,
I just think we had a great marriage. We all see what athletics has done for us individually,
yes, sir.
How much we've learned and grown as men and women. And man, I just love that you guys are continuing to highlight that. So keep it up.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you next week. Good luck to you.
That sounds great. Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
you as well. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, that's Coach Shawn over from Crossing. Like I said, he's won the state championships, been there a few times, kind of like Jennifer Douglas.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, moving up from 4A, and he's really a 3A school, moving all the way up to 5A to play basketball. He's done some good things, man. I'm telling you, his team's really exciting.
Only 300 kids in the school. That's crazy.
That's crazy. But, you know, I tell you, people's going to want to go there, man. It's a good basketball school. The campus is beautiful on its own. But I just say, you know, a young man that knows the game is coach. You know, he said over 26 years. He don't even look like he's over 20. You know, 30 years old. But well dressed coach, man. And like I said, I like it when coaches get all G'd up and you know you're out there coaching. Coach Lenny Bird, Coach Lenny Hatches. There's some of the top coaches, I think, men coaches that dress up. But I think it's wide open though for men's 5A basketball. Like I said, I think Carabo's going to make a good run, Big E. I think Crossing is right there. I think Dale City is there with the Grands, but I think Coach Noel over at Midwest City got some things to say. And he talks about Booker T. I haven't got a chance to watch Booker T. I might have to go back and look at some of their films and see what they got. But I think it's wide open, Big E. I think it's open for anybody to win. But I tell you one thing about Crossing, Big E. Crossing I think he's the best guard, like he said, in the state. Yeah. The guy can he can beat you off the dribble. He's kind of like John Stockton a little bit. Hands the ball real well. He can dish it off. But his two post guys, he talks about, his two post guys he got, was it Woodson? I got the names right here. Cam Parker, number 14, and Phoenix Woodson. Two great big men that can shoot the ball outside and also have a good post game. And I think to win a state championship, you got to have a post game. But we're going to keep rocking and rolling, Big E. Like I said, I got some things to do this Sunday afternoon. I know Big E got some things he got to do. But we're going to keep it going. What we at, Big E? We I think we're on a 5A.
Yeah. So here, I just clicked out of it.
Sorry, we'll go through it real quick. But while he's looking for it, I'm going to talk about, Carl Albert girls and Midwest City girls and Dale City girls. I think Dale City's a team that you got to watch out. Coach Webb could easily hold that gold ball up to the end of the year. I know her team hasn't been together all year, but she got her top point guard, Sasha, back, a young lady that can go. She has a big inside. The big inside can get her any kind of scoring. I think Dale City's going to be a team to be reckoned with in the playoffs. I think Coach Knight over at Midwest City, I think she got all the right tools. I think she got Deanna Douglas. I think Deanna Douglas can put everybody on the back and take them to a state championship. Coach Knight, I think what Coach Knight's going to have to do, she's going to have to, make sure she, break it down and shut people down that can score a lot, But I think she has the tools that they can easily hold the cold ball. I think Coach Ritchie, Coach Ritchie is starting 4 sophomores and 1 senior. I think they're young. He's going to have to find one of them young ladies. I think Skylar's a player that can go. I know he got the big young lady inside that can go. Then Asha Moore, the outstanding softball player. I think she's their leader. She's a good 3-point shooter. I would like to see her go post up a little bit more. I think Richie got the tools to do it. Like I said, they're young. You got starting 4 sophomores and 1 senior. Got a couple young ladies that can come off the bench. I think he might get a little deeper in the bench. He might have to play a couple of those freshmen to just give him some minutes just to see. I think Sutton's a young lady that's outside. I think, Lenny Hatch's daughter playing a little bit of 3 to 4, which they got her at. Then you got Eddie's young daughter, Hayden that can play a little point guard, but they got the tools. It's just putting them all together and everybody playing on it as a team, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes, folks, and I'm keeping it 100 right here. Sometimes we don't play as a team. Sometimes it's too much. I got to get mine. Let's go. Everybody go get yours. Then everybody can hold that gold ball and kiss it at the end of the day. Because if you looked at the Kansas City Chiefs, like you said, probably one of the worst rosters they had, right?
Yeah.
But they found a way to do what? Win a championship.
Yep.
And that's what it's got to be. It's got to be a team effort. Can't be about me. Can't be about my points. Can't be about my buckets. Can't be about none of that. It has to be a team effort. So are you ready, Big E, to keep rocking and rolling?
So yeah, we'll go to the we did 4A and 5A or 6A and 5A.
Yes, sir.
All right. So on the
I don't think I did the other side of the boys or girls. I'm sorry. I talked about the girls a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and get there. So I'll go ahead and talk about the east side of the girls. So you got Tahlequah hosting.
Tahlequah could be a team you got to recognize with.
Yeah. And then you got Coweta hosting Sapulpa and Booker T. Washington. At the Tahlequah Regional, you got Tahlequah taking on Edison Prep and McAllister taking on Collinsville. At the Coweta Regional, you got Grove taking on Tulsa Memorial and Coweta taking on Pryor. At the Sapulpa Regional, you got Sapulpa taking on Claremore and Bishop Kelly taking on Holland Hall. And at the Booker T. Washington Regional, you got Will Rogers taking on East Central and Durant taking on Booker T. Washington. And then if we go to 4A Boys Area 1, a lot of these games have already kind of been decided. I think they started, this past weekend. A lot of these games were played yesterday or Friday. So you had Blanchard beating Kingfisher, Tuttle beating Ada, Broken Bow beating Bing, Plainview beating Sulphur, Community Christian beating Hera, and Cushing beating Manford, Weatherford beating Woodward, and Manford beating Cushing. I think I said that right. Not sure. And then you had Olaga beating Skiatook. So in the next week,
is that the boys we're in?
Yeah,
Class
boys,
4.
yeah, boys 4A Area 1.
And here I got boys Area 2.
Yeah.
You had Stillwell getting the win over Salazar. You had North Creek, one of the hottest teams out there in Shawnee, trying to take everything from the Shawnee Wolves. But Coach Madonna's trying to keep everybody from going to North Creek. But you had them over Bristow. You had Wagner over Nathan Hall. You had Stigler. Stigler's a team that's won a couple of state championship, I think, girls and boys, over Poto. Then you had Bridge Creek over Purcell. Then you had Elk City getting beat by Bishop McGinnis. Bishop McGinnis was not a bad team. Then you had Bethany beating Clinton. Then you had Newcastle. My man over there, Coach Jesse, taking care of business, beating Harding Fine of Arts. So Newcastle gets the win.
Yeah. And then, we got Area 3 now.
Is there another one?
Yeah, there's 4 areas and 4 A's. All right, so Area 3, you had Class and SAS beating Cash, Anadarko beating Chickasha, Marlow beating Ardmore, Pauls Valley beating Duncan, Douglas beating Aztec Charter. I have not heard of Aztec Charter, but the score to that game was 89-4.
What?
Yeah. And then you have Sequoia Claremore beating Berry Hill. And then you have Glenpool over Seminole. And then you have, it's weird. It said Glenpool over McLeod, and then there's a correction. Glenpool over Seminole. Okay. And then you had Tecumseh beating Harding Charter Prep in a close one, 75-74. And then he said you got Area 4.
Yeah, I got Area 4. You had Iola beating Jay. Then you had Medill beating Dickinson. You had Dakota beating Grove. You had Catoosa beating Dewey. You had Murdo beating Central Tulsa. You had Perkins Tryon beating Cleveland. That's the old coaches at. Then you had Fort Gibson, which is always a good team, beating Hisdale. And then you have McLean beating Verdigris.
All right. And then going on the girls' side of 4A, Area 1, Kingfisher over Blanchard, Tuttle over Ada, Broken Bow over Bing, Plainview over Sulphur, Lincoln Christian over Hera, Manford over Cushing, Weatherford over Woodward, and Skiatook over Ulaga.
That's girls what?
That was Area 1.
Okay, I got Area 2. You got Class and SSS over Cassidy and Anadarko over Chickasha. You had Ardmore over Marlow. You had Duncan over Pauls Valley. You had Douglas Ladies over, I don't know what that is, Aztec Charter. Yeah. You had Berry Hill over Sequoia. You had Glenpool over McLeod. Then you had Tecumseh. Then you had Tecumseh over Harding Charter.
All right.
That's on the girls.
And then Area 3, you had Classen SAS over Cache, Anadarko over Chickasha, Ardmore over Marlow, Duncan over Pauls Valley, Douglas over Aztec Charter. Doesn't have a score for that one. Berry Hill over Sequoia. Let's see. Glenpool McLeod over Seminole. And Tecumseh over Harding Charter. That's Area 3.
Let me get to Area 4. He's got Ola over Jade. You have Medill over, I thought I already did that.
Did you?
Yeah, Fort Gibson. Is that the girls and the boys?
I think, yeah, a lot of the same teams on the girls' side did end up making it, same as the boys.
Yeah, Veneta over Dewey, and then you had Marto over Central Tulsa. You had Perkin Tryon over Cleveland. I guess it's like the same. You had Fort Gibson over Hisdale. Then you had Vergas over McLean. That's on the girls' 4A.
Yeah, starting off in 3A with the boys, Area 1. Metro Christian over Spiro. Roland had a bye. Hevner over Westville. Keys Park Hill over Dove Science Academy. Alva over Chisholm. Victory Christian over Perry. Blackwell over Daniel Webster. And Lincoln Christian over Rejoice Christian.
And then Class 3A boys 2. You had Catchahall over Adair. You had Beggs over Luther. You had Kansas over Sperry. You got Salina over Comanche. You got Lone Grove over Tishomingo. You got Idabel, which I think Idabel is a team you got to watch out for, girls and boys. Then you got Hugo over Silo. And you got Valiant over Valiant over the Antlers. Not Deer Creek Antlers, but the Antlers.
Yeah, Antlers. Went out there for a powerlifting meet when I was in high school. So
you got 3?
Area 3, you had Crooked Oak over Lexington. Kellyville over Okmulgee. Kiefer over Sequoia. Washington over Dove Science Academy. You have Holdenville over Henrietta, Millwood over Pathways, Bethel over Little Axe, and Cassidy over Prague.
Then you got Class A boys, Class 3A boys, number 4?
Yep.
4. You had Lindsay over Comanche. You had Kingston over Atakota. You got Frederick over Frederick with the win. You had Oklahoma Christian. They got a bye. Guess the team didn't show them. You had Chandler over Moores. You had Jones boys got a bye. They'll take on Heritage Hall as they beat Star Spencer, which is crazy. You figured Star Spencer's always pretty good. Then you had Eufaula getting beat by Mount St. Mary. JD's over there taking care of the football program.
Yeah. Then you go to 3A girls Area 1. You have Spiro over Metro Christian. Roland had a bye. Hevner over Westville. Keys Park Hill had a bye. You had Alva over Chisholm. Victory Christian over Perry. Blackwell over Daniel Webster, and Rejoice Christian had a bye.
You got girls Class 3A, Area 2. You had Castor Hall getting beat by Adair. You had Luther beating Beggs. You had Sperry beating Kansas. You had Comanche getting beat by Salazar. You have Tishomingo getting beat by Lone Grove. Idabel. Watch out for Idabel girls. Jenny, I know you put on the green jacket, but Idabel said, this is my year, Coach Jenny Holbrook. This is our year. But Washington said, wait a minute. Hey, we already beat Jones once. But Jenny said, once I put on the green jacket and then I turn out the lights over at what's the place they call it down there? The big house.
Where's that?
The big house with the smaller teams play.
Oh yeah, out in
Jenny said I've owned that for 3 years, and guess what? She said 3-peat. We going for 4, baby. Don't count out Jones, ladies. Jenny Holbrook knows how to win. When you know how to win, when you've been there, you don't panic. Teams that ain't been there, they usually panic. They usually fumble the ball. They usually turn the ball over. They usually do something that doesn't make them win. But Ida Bell, watch out for them, though. I'm telling you, they got to buy. But like I said, they'll take on Silo because Silo got a win over Hugo. And then you got the Answers getting a win. So watch out for Ida Bell.
All right.
Mark my word. Watch out for Ida Bell. 3A.
All right. Area 3 girls in 3A. You got Lexington over Crooked Oak, Kellyville over Okmulgee, Sequoia Tahlequah over Kiefer, Washington had a bye, Holdenville over Henrietta, Millwood over Pathways, Bethel over Little Axe, and Cassidy over Prague.
It's funny some of these teams get it by, but we're going to go Class 4A with my Jenny Holbrook over at Jones. This is her bracket out here. You had Lindsay over Comanche. You have Kingston over I can't ever pronounce Tacote. I don't know, folks. I might be getting it wrong. I don't know where that's at. Ain't never heard of it. Sorry. I'm sorry if I'm beating your name up. Atoka. Never been there. Probably won't never get there. But
a lot of speed traps. So if you're driving through Atoka, go the speed limit because they will get you. Don't ask me how I know.
You had Community Christian over OK Christian School. You had Chandler getting beat by Morris. You had Jones getting a bye. Watch out, like I said, watch out for Jones. Jenny Holbrook puts on the green jacket. It's kind of like my man Johnny Gill said, put on your red dress and some of that sweet perfume. Sure smells good on you. Jenny said, put on my green jacket. Because my Jones girls is going for it all. We're trying to win number 4. Because we're not going to fall. You know I had it in me, Big E. Yeah. Didn't know I had it. I had a little had it in me a little bit. But folks, like I said, you got Heritage Hall getting the win over Star Spencer. Then you got Eufaula over Mount St. Mary. I'm looking forward to this Class 3A. Should be a dandy, with Jones, Ida Bell, some of those great teams, in the 3A, man. But like I said, you can see Jones, Ida Bell. You can see some of these teams that you haven't seen. But, hey, the last few years, who's on that 3A? It's been been Jenny Holbrook. So we're gonna finish up with 2A real quick, Big E.
Yeah. So with 2A, let's see. Area 1, Lotta over Wynnewood, Dale over Mounds.
Boys?
Yeah, boys.
Yes.
Dale. I mean, they're gonna be the team to watch out for again this year. Gonna look for.
Why we talking about this bracket? E?
What?
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
I mean, we know who's going to win what.
Basketball. Basketball is one of those sports you can always have an upset.
Time out. My man over Dell. Forsyth?
Yeah. Yep, Forsyth.
Biggie, he's the best player in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go out his senior year and get beat. He won the Tournament of Champions as a junior.
Yep.
I mean, they got 1 or 2 losses. Went up to Illinois and got beat. I think they lost, 1 game here in Oklahoma. Ain't nobody going to beat them in 3A, Big E.
You mean 2A?
2A.
Yeah.
Who's going to beat them, Big E? You name me one team on there you think is going to be close to beating them.
Let me see.
There you go.
There's probably not many.
Let's get to the girls.
All right.
Folks, I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give it to Dale. I'm going to give them the championship. Because when you got a player like him that works hard every day, he going to find a way to win a ball game. His little brother said, hey, brother, right now you about to go to OU. You're going to pass the torch to me. He's going to have 2 more years. Hey, Dale ain't going nowhere. They building more homes out there. Guess what that means? They want more kids to come.
But, Dale girls, they're running things on the on their side, too.
Where's Washington at? Where's Bethel at?
Yeah, true.
You can't just give it to Dale girls like you give it to the boys because I'm telling you right now, Washington coach said, hey, I've already knocked off Jenny. She's a class higher than me. But guess what? I'm new over here at Washington. I was out at El Reno.
How many ladies teams do you know that are dropping 87 points in their first games in the playoffs?
Ooh.
Well, Riverside, they dropped 89. So
they doing it like that, Biggie?
Yeah. Yeah. So
who you see on the girls' side?
I think I got to go with Dale, but you got some talent over there. Cashin, they're not too bad. And then Who was the team that I just said? I can't remember. It was
What about Okima?
Okima. I don't know much about Okima.
I don't know much about them neither.
But
if I'm a betting man, I'm a bet on. You see Washington.
Washington.
They might be in this is area. I'm in area 2. Where you at?
I'm in area 4-3 now. Washington, don't they play up in basketball?
Are they? I didn't see them in 3A. Did you see them?
Maybe they didn't make it. No.
No, Washington's one of the best teams.
For girls?
Teams. Yeah.
I don't see them in 2A.
Maybe they in 3A then.
Yeah.
I know they beat Jenny early in the year. So they could be in 3A.
Yeah.
Are they in 3A?
I think so. I think we talked about them when we were talking about 3A. Yeah, they are in 3A.
Well, hey, I'm sorry, folks, because Dale's girls probably gonna get that. Washington and Idabelle and Jones are gonna be the ones battling for the 3A.
If you got a kid that's playing basketball, just take him right down I-40. You're gonna pass Grand Casino. Dale's gonna be right there. That's where the basketball talent's at.
Come on now, Big E. Come on, Big E. I got one sitting over here at CA.
Hey, you might want to, while you're waiting for Zoe's game to start, you can head over there to Grand Casino and play some blackjack or
hey folks,
play some roulette.
See what he's doing? He's giving Shawnee their casinos. He's broadcast. He's getting them a little bit of pub, which I understand that. I love you, Shawnee.
I visit that place more frequently than I should. I'll say
he shouldn't be doing
that.
I
do not condone gambling. I don't condone it. Do not condone it.
Well, Biggie, let's get us out of here, though, man. But, folks, like I said, it's a great show. Good to have Coach Shawn on, man, from Crossings. Like, we'll be going a little bit deeper. I don't know. We'll go next Sunday. I might try to shoot something during the week since high school basketball area is going on and try to keep everybody posted where we at. Might be something 10, 15-minute segment that I do here on your own. And then I'll get it up. But like I said, good luck to all the teams. I know some of the teams have already started, but I think all the 4A, 5A, and 6A will start this Tuesday night.
Yep.
There'll be some good games this week, folks. I mean, 'cause like I said, you got some good matchups. You'll have that Dale City Crossing matchup. You could have that Carl Albert. Go to Carl. Let me see. Let me get to them real quick. Carl Albert has a tough bracket to get to too, to get out of. To get to state, let me see.
They're going to be on the 5A West side.
Crossing and Dale City could meet Carl Albert to get to for the championship on that was that Saturday?
Yeah,
Saturday. So you could have a great game on Friday night because then on the other side you got Dale City down here with Guthrie. Not Dale City. I'm sorry. You got Midway City down here. With some good teams themselves. You got Midway City. Western Heights, El Reno's not bad. MacArthur's not bad. Shawnee's boys are not bad. So Guthrie boys, I mean, you could have that Midway City Guthrie matchup this Friday night or Saturday for the area championship. So you're gonna have some good games this week coming out. But like I said, we'll try to keep you posted. Maybe get a couple interviews with some players, some coaches. But like I said, thanks again for Coach Shawn let us come on and be part of his Sunday. Very Christian man. That's what it's all about, teaching these young men, not just on the basketball court, but just being a leader of the Lord and Savior that people don't talk about every day. But we wouldn't be here without that, without our Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So thank you for watching. Keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports.
Tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and keep tuning in.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll see you. What?
See you next time. See ya.
See ya.